just when you thought DC Comics had gone as low as it possibly could, no, they have to show you they can go even lower. Straight down the line and straight into the realm of farting. Yes, you heard me correctly. Farting. Because that's what DC Comics is going to have Harley Quinn doing now. An entire special about her passing gas. Because God forbid you do anything halfway decent with this character anymore. I honestly couldn't believe this was going to be a thing when I saw it, but it's clear at this point DC just giving people the opportunity to write their fetishes into everything, and they just want to put it out there on paper and say, here, enjoy that. God, let's get into this. Here's an article here from Bounding into Comics. DC to celebrate April Fool's Day 2025 with Harley Quinn Fartacular. Silent but deadly one shot. Yes, seriously. Now, the thing about it is that you're thinking, hey, it's April Fool's, it's going to be a gag. The problem with it is that it ain't. They're actually going to do this. They're actually going to put this out there. Somebody came up with the idea, and whatever flawed machine that runs DC, because I'm pretty sure nobody human is there anymore, just basically approved it, and that's what we're going to get. In a move so baffling that it's genuinely hard to believe it's even real, DC has announced that they will be celebrating the upcoming 2025 edition of April Fool's Day by publishing the Harley Quinn Fartacular, Silent but Deadly, an aptly named one-shot whose contents will center entirely, you guessed it, on the topic of flatulence. This is the cover for it here. Harley Quinn literally shooting fat out her ass, and people are just... Look, let me tell you something. Harley Quinn started off in Batman the Animated Series. People liked the character because she was a scientist. What was that? She was a psychiatrist. Who is that? Basically a scientist of the mind, if you think about it. Yeah. Who was driven insane by the Joker. She reached to that point, and that's what made her this interesting character. She was in this toxic relationship because she wanted to be, and she was literally a twisted lunatic, and she was a different from the other characters that you would get. Now, Harley Quinn was never overly popular in the comics. The reason people tend to think she was popular is that people were dressing up as her for Halloween and stuff, and like Comic-Con, you know, mostly women were dressing like Harley Quinn, and that made people think she was popular. She wasn't overly popular, but she did have a decent fan base, but they never really could find out what to do with the character, but she had a decent fan base. I have said this before, I'm going to say it again. The minute they decided to make Harley Quinn gay was when the entire downturn of this thing began. Honestly. The second they hooked her up with Poison Ivy, she could be nothing other than Poison Ivy's girlfriend. They started to make these horrible comics. Awful. Don't get me wrong, Harley Quinn has had some literal ridiculous comics over the years. And that's kind of how she is, but it was always centered around her madness and stuff like that. And you literally have a comic with her shooting gas out her ass, and that's the whole comic. It's terrible. I mean, when is the last time anybody actually read a Harley Quinn comic? I read one a few months back because I said, you know what, I'm checking a little while, I'm checking to see if anything, and it was terrible. She was on some cruise ship and all kind of mad. It was just absolutely stupid. And then they had Gotham City Sirens, where they literally made her and the rest of the women look as ugly as possible. And this is the book you're going to put out now. Harley Quinn fatting up the place. That's what I couldn't believe this was an actual comic. And then I saw this and I was like, good God, boy. Eh. Oh boy. The Harley Quinn breaks win on Ted Brandt and Rostein's cover to Harley Quinn Fartacular, Silent but Deadly Volume 1. It's coming in 2025. News of the One Shots production first bubbled to the surface thanks to DC's December 20th reveal of their March 2025 solicits. So I don't feel sick just reading this. Therein tucked far below but potentially promising teasers as those given for Absolute Flash Volume 1, which will introduce the world to that universe's incarnation of the Scarlet Speedster. I'm actually looking forward to that one. I actually want to see Absolute Flash. That's the one I'm actually interested in. And Justice League Unlimited Volume 1, number 5. So, you know, I haven't done a video on Justice League Unlimited. I don't think I'm going to, because it's just so ridiculously bad. It doesn't make sense. But you want everybody on the Watchtower? You have like Black Lightning and his daughters literally acting like the welcoming committee and all kind of stuff. They have the challenges of the unknown show up again, and they do absolutely nothing. I think at one point that them cleaning the toilets or something like that. And then you had that whole, question on, which was just absolutely stupid. The whole thing is just bad. Turning the Justice League into this giant free fall where everybody, come on now, man. Look how well that worked for the Avengers in Marvel Comics. But DC just refuses to learn anything, and now they're just more interested in people passing gas. Its story apparently set to see the titular team up with the full might of the Legion of Doom. What is surprise? What is surprise listing for the Fartacular? God boy, any Fartacular. This is Wally West here as Absolute Flash. Like I say, it does look good. I am interested to see what's going to happen here. Set to be penned by Fire and Ice. Welcome to Smallville Volume 1 writer Joanne Starr. Well, there it is. There it is. Joanne Starr, who literally did Fire and Ice. Welcome. It was just Fire and Ice involved. It's one of the most lesbian stuff possible. And a bisexual go-go dancer, gorilla. And I mean, these people are just being given opportunities to write their fetishes into these books. That's it. And it's not working out. And illustrated by Tales of the Titans, Beast Boy Volume 1, number 1 artist duo of Ted Brandt and Rostein. The one shot will honestly, there's no way to summarize it solicit in a way that both makes any kind of sense. So let's look at it. We're just going to read what the solicit actually says, because you have to understand how bad this thing really is. This is the actual solicit that they put out for it. Listen to it very carefully and cringe and vomit if you feel the same way too. I've been holding in all my very worst bits of bubble guts for the last 32 years. God. And it's all been leading up to this epic expulsion. Your nose will never be the same. You'll gag, you'll cry, you'll feel things you ain't never felt before. Well, I am gagging, my eyes are watering, and I'm telling you, I'm feeling so sick at this point, not even funny. This fine publication is a celebration of all things past, present, like present year, and future. God, boy. Sequential art's place in the annals of history is about to change with the release of Harley Quinn Fartacular, Silent but Deadly, a comic that promises to have the highest concentration of gas per page, GPP, gas per page, ever committed to print. Emphasis on committed, because everyone who worked on this comic is getting thrown into Dr. Fatley's home for no good gassy gals and guys. Read the comic that Abraham Lincoln called a joy from fat to finish moments before he died. Warning: We aren't kidding. If you are grossed out by facts, then this comic isn't for you. And that's perfectly okay. Though I am judging you, unless you want to put your feelings to the test, in which case this comic is for you. Look, if they could give Joker some kind of butt baby, they could literally do this nonsense, and this is exactly what they're doing. I I really don't want to read this. You know, I don't think I have any time to read this disgusting thing. Honestly, it's just, oh my God. Thinking about it making me sick. Ah, in typical comic book industry fashion, alongside a standard cover illustrated by the aforementioned Brand and Stein, its artwork depicting a cabaret dancing Harley Quinn breaking wind in a particularly strong fashion. Yes, referring to this horrible, 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 horrible scene here. That's absolutely horrible. The book will also receive two variant covers as provided by legendary Harley Quinn Volume 3 artist Amanda Connor and Wednesday Comics Wonder Woman Volume 1 Ben Cadwell, respectively. And really, what else is there to say about the book? It's an entire one-shot centered on facts in a way that's admittedly meant to be comedic, but honestly comes off as a bit fetishistic. That's what it is. It is a fetish. That's the thing. Whole point of the thing, it's a fetish. Starring Harley Quinn. It's exactly what it says on the tin. This is what it is. This is. But hey, at the very least, it will be more entertaining than anything Tom King has written during his DC tenure. My God, that's true. Still disgusting. To that end, for those who wish to get a whiff of the Harley Quinn Fartacular, silent but deadly, for whatever reason, you do you. Yeah, you all let's do you. The one shot is currently looking at the release date of March 26, 2025. Good God. Boy. This is what they're doing. Harley Quinn Fartacular. That's what's going on. Harley Quinn breaking wind, fatting up the place. That's the kind of comic book that they're putting out now. This is it, people. This is what it has become. This is where it's going. This is how disgusting it all is. Let me know your thoughts on this, whatever the hell this is. You have a different opinion. I can't imagine why, but if you do, I'd like to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.